Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Welcome in. Hope everyone's having a nice morning or afternoon. Yo Raptor, Butterscorch, welcome in. You got working on your Tyranny kill team? Nice. Very nice. Are you gonna get the next kill team set? Crucial Blue, what's going on, man? What's going on? Well, we're gonna jump in. I have some, Anthony, welcome. Playing Stellaris, that sounds great. I haven't played Stellaris in years, but a fun game. We're gonna go ahead and paint these ghouls that we assembled a week or two ago. I have some finished ghouls here. I'm gonna try to mimic this result. It has been probably about a year since I've painted these, but I think I have an idea of what I need to do, and what I need to do is first pull out one of my least liked colors that I've ever purchased, which is Rigor Mortis. So this lovely khaki color that is masquerading as a grayish green. But we're gonna slap this over a lot of the mini, because that's how life works. Oh, you're gonna try to order the new one? Nice, very nice. What team are you looking forward to more? Is it the teams that you're looking forward to, or is it the rules, or what about the new set? Are you just like a completionist where you feel like you have to have the thing, so you're gonna try to get the thing? Happy with my conversion from 40k Sentinel to you sent that photo yesterday. I think it looks really good. Yeah. I had to do like a double take because I was like, oh yeah, it's a 8th and heavy Sentinel. I was like, wait a minute, no, it's not. That's the newer like 40k Sentinel. So nicely done. John Lockridge, welcome in. How you doing? Gaming Scenics has gone under. Literally everything in the US store sold out. UK store, just about everything. I'll have to look that up. That's really disappointing if they did. But, dang. Was it just running off the popularity of Luke? Is that maybe what was going on? And then I don't know. They seemed to be doing well, but it'd be too bad. If you need to get some things, yeah, you gotta try some third-party places. You want the lore and the sisters. Okay, nice. Basing scheme, you have to find some alternative. Yeah, no kidding. Isn't that great? Great when that happens. Like, the whole point of buying it is because it's consistent, but if the company doesn't stay around, then you're just kind of out of luck. That stinks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be, I guess, a little more conservative with my basing material usage than on 3 of my armies. 4 of my armies, technically, that use this stuff. So, yeah, it's, the store, it's called, Kick-Ass Mail Order. That's who I usually order Geek Gaming Scenics from. You could make an Undead faction work in 40k, yeah. It's just basically Nurgle at this point. Nurgle and Necrons kind of mixed together, but yeah, I agree. Definitely make it work. Now, something I don't remember about these is I made a special wash for their skin after this that had some green in it. Maybe I'll have to do a little bit of experiment, but I guess if they're a slightly different shade, it's not that big a deal. Want our ghouls to be, I don't know, all over the place, right? Fox, how you doing? Welcome in. How's your Tuesday? It's Tuesday today, right? Is that right? It is cold. Very cold here today. Am I getting a night for my birthday this year? Oh, sweet. Alright. That's really cool. Legion of the Damned as a blatantly undead faction. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of hit those tropes in 40k with a lot of different factions. Like, Numberless Horde is definitely Tyranids. You got, the Dying and Resurrecting again is very Necron. You have the actual literal zombies and the Poxwalkers and, like, Nurgle themes with, like, the infection area. They have vampires and if you're considering those and to be like part of the undead, and so like I feel like they hit all of those notes. They just don't have them like combined into one. And I don't know if that's something. I don't know if they need to do it. It's okay not to hit every every fantasy trope all the time. Tavern, what's up? Going well, working, lurking, chipping away at painting, and squad I'm working on, and I can see the finish line. Need to tidy up some oopsies. Yeah. Very nice. Good deal. Dundersnuff, welcome. Welcome in, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. January is starting to close out. They have it? Oh, nice. All right, yeah. Stock up. I may have to order from then if that's the case. I'm going to do some research and see if I can't find any info about Geek Gaming Scenics, but... Yeah, so Tuesday, I don't know, nothing terribly exciting going on, but I like it that way. The gym this morning, some cardio and some other stuff, so it feels good. Shell in my mountain terrain basing material. Oh man, that's pretty funny. Okay. Well, hey, it happens sometimes, right? PSA for chat: don't order from Geek Gaming USA. It's a totally different store using the same logo, and their customer service and product is substandard. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, don't order for them. Not sick anymore, but you mess up your back real bad. Oh dang, you're getting old, Dunder. That's what's happening. It's just age catching up with you. That really stinks, though. That's pretty terrible. Sorry to hear that. Take it easy. Hopefully it gets better. back brace for thunder. Yeah. Sounds like me after I sneeze wrong. So I thought it was funny last night. The governor of our wonderful, wonderful state put out a statement and recommended, strongly recommended, that all schools in Ohio close for the day because the cold. It's really cold. The wind chill's really bad, and dealing with kids walking to school and all that. And with how funny that is, my wife's school, her district was already off school today. They had like a day off planned, and then my son ended up having school, which his district normally cancels at like the drop of a hat, and it was just funny that they decided to have school anyway. Good job, school. Good job not canceling. Your kid's school is delayed. Oh wow. A lot of school districts around here don't do the 2-hour delays anymore. I haven't seen one of those happen in a school district nearby in years. My wife works for a big district, and like they can't anyway because of the logistics of busing and everything, but just don't think it works out. But yeah, interesting. Well, I think it warmed up a bit this morning. I don't know why they didn't just cancel preschool. We'll be there from 11 to 2. Yeah, what's the point of 3 hours? I mean, I kind of understand, but my son did half-day preschool anyway, and it was always like 3 hours. And sometimes it seemed like they did almost nothing, but you can cram a lot into 3 hours. It's important for kids, right? Have that time. They do need socializing, yeah. Schools be able to do digital lessons now. No need to close due to weather. Yeah. I would imagine, and I think you're right. I would imagine, though, that there's some law, at least here in Ohio, that there's some legal boundaries for like doing classwork at home still counts as being at home kind of thing. And most schools, they get so many days that they call them calamity days, that they're allowed to cancel school and not have to make up. And so I imagine that if kids are home, even if they're doing schoolwork, they consider it a calamity day and they have to make it up anyway. So you're stoked for Valentine's Day? Okay. You give him a chicken pot pie for his gift. That sounds so good. His best friend's mom the recipe. Oh, nice. That's really cool. That sounds amazing. Love good chicken pot pie. If I'm hungry already, then my meal prep has failed me this week already. This isn't good. Mystic is a monumental now? Hey, Mystic. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right, Blue, you're next. Guys, go follow Crucial Blue. Get him the number of follows so he can be a monumental. Just an affiliate with Monument Hobbies. Like 804. Yeah, you do. Yeah. I think there's also a big snowstorm potentially hitting in the next week, so schools are trying to save their calamity days. Yeah, which would make sense. That would make sense, John. Yeah. I heard that like Friday night we're supposed to get a bunch of snow, which wouldn't make a difference for schools, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we'll continue the snow days. It's been a weird winter. Is it cognac or how do you pronounce that? 9 calories per 2 servings? That's pretty legit. That's your secret weapon. It's just... You're not sure. Okay. How do you pronounce it? What are they made of? 9 calories for 2 servings. You don't even know what you're eating. Gee, shame. Shame, Mystic. It's made out of the tears of baby rabbits. That's what they make those noodles out of, and you're just eating them up. Like every day. Konjac noodles, okay. Okay, one more for this color. I'm basically clearing out my Undead here, which is nice. Which was Instagram platform? Yeah, the Twitch grind, yeah. Blue, I honestly think, Blue, the only reason you don't have a lot more followers is because you stream 2 days a week. Like 2 evenings a week, which is lame, but like... Twitch is a weird thing, like if you're not on and streaming, like you don't exist to Twitch. So yeah, like you have, you know, like a real life outside of Twitch. And it makes it difficult to be like, you know, on Twitch all the time. So made from konjac root. Okay, interesting. So I've been slaughtering rabbits and don't starve to survive the winter. You're scared of rabbit. Okay, fair. Did every night you'd be better off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Blue. Yeah. So don't be discouraged by the fact that, you know, you have a life outside of Twitch. Maybe I should add another stream or two in the week. I mean, that is up to you. I'm gonna try to put out a YouTube video next week, next Monday. That's my goal, or Tuesday, I guess. Film one on Monday. So I need to get back into that. YouTube is weird though. YouTube's really like, YouTube hits all of the like the like endorphins when you're just like sitting there minding your own business and you just look up your YouTube account and you have more views and subscribers. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. Even if it's not much. Like I don't have a big YouTube following, but man. Okay. I need to make a little recipe here. evening stuff for gaming. Some do yeah. Yeah, I don't know if like breaking up your streams like that. I don't know if that helps or hurts, or if that's like, I know YouTube is weird about putting different topics in the same channel. It's like weird in that it doesn't like that. When you get like big enough or whatever, but yeah, I mean that's a whole thing. Hey, Ender Heroes, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just painting. I stream on Twitch and YouTube. These are for the old world. These are Vampire Count Crypt Ghouls. I have some painted ones I'm using as my example. So this is my painted version of the Crypt Ghouls. So we're just working on the skin, first thing here. Nice thing about Crypt Ghouls and Undead models in general, if they're not perfect, that's amazing. Like, that's kind of what you want. He's starting to stream, but he visions VTuber style and like painting for main content. I don't want my face out there. Yeah, I don't like posting my face either, which I'm sure has not helped me at all. But, that's just kind of where I'm at, I guess. So when you stream different things, I think it matters what directory you're in. Yeah. Trying to swing another day would make my home like, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I think like yeah, when you're kind of jumping directories in Twitch, yeah, I think that because you kind of build up, like, when you look around, you raid people, and you're kind of watching streams and stuff, you see the same faces, every time you're in there. And so you get more familiar, and, whether you like them or not, but you kind of understand who the people are around you, right? And so that's kind of how you build up, like, a rapport with people. And if you're just jumping into a big channel, for a big gamer or whatever, like, you don't have that. So it's weird. Like, even if you're getting bored streaming something in particular, it's, if you want to continue to grow, it's the grind. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's a nice color. Okay, that's what I wanted with this ugly green color. We're gonna give these guys just another minute to dry, though. TPD, you get to revive one 40k faction or launch a new faction. What are you picking? For example, Legion of the Damned, Dark Mech, Exodites, Lost in the Damned, etc. If I get to launch a new faction of anything, yeah, I think some kind of Traitor Guard. Yeah, I think a Traitor Guard faction, like, totally focused on just evil guardsmen would be great. And we have, like, the bare minimum of Traitor Guard. There's, like, the weird command squad, and there's the actual Traitor Guard squad, but, like, going further with it. The one I'm looking forward to the most, which I think will be out this year, is Dark Mechanicum, but for 30k. I think that'll be Heresy. Yeah, Exodites would be fun, Dark Mech. You know what? Speaking of Exodites, there was some murmuring about Exodites. I don't know if you guys heard this. The miniature sculptor, the head sculptor for Games Workshop, Jess Goodwin, actually retired back in September. GW didn't announce a thing about his retirement, which in my opinion is awful, because that is the guy who is like the aesthetic for so much of this game. But he retired back in September. He's a huge Eldar fan. Most of the Eldar sculpts you see that have been around for the past 30 years were his sculpts. So he retired, and one of the people that were talking about him retiring basically said, like, the fact that he retired means, like, Exodites are probably never going to happen, because he would have been the one to push it, and since he didn't, like, that's kind of it. Zen, Night Trap, what's going on, guys? 2v2 40k game. Each person brought 1.5k. It was so much fun. That sounds like fun. Yeah, sounds like a good time. Nice. Right, Mr. Ghoul. Get your weird green skin here. But not too green. Don't want people calling you a green skin. You enjoyed The Infinite and the Divine. Nice. I've heard that's good. I've heard the Necron novels in general are pretty good, so. Twice Dead King was one I figured I'd get around to reading at one point. I haven't, but figured I would. Blood Pact would be my perfect launch for a guard faction. How cool would that be? Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah. They would fit the most in 40k as it is now, I think. The Traitor Guard faction. It'd be kind of the easiest to integrate. You know, and giving them some unique vehicles, a unique play style that's different than Guard. I think all of that would be fantastic. You know what, guys? You know what? We're gonna talk about more hobby drama. Do you guys want to talk about more hobby drama? This might ruffle some jimmies here, but I'm probably okay with that. I wasn't sure if I was gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. What's up, Star Laser? How you doing? Blood Pact would be an amazing poster boy paint scheme for future Traitor Guard releases. Yeah. You have all sorts of cool stuff and upgrade kits from existing Guard takes. Yeah, we're gonna ruffle the jimmies. All right, we're ruffling jimmies. Okay, you guys ready? So, big old convention. Fairly priced metal tomb scorpion on eBay. Oh dang. Okay. Yeah, 2 scorpions are really cool. I think they're really good too. But, so big convention, Nova. You guys heard of the Nova Open, right? Big tournament convention, big painting competition, bunch of stuff. Well, last year, I think it's in August, right? Some of you guys have been there, if I'm not mistaken. Happens around August, and they had a paint. They do their big paint competition. Well, they always do a like community favorite. So you vote on what's your favorite. Aside, okay, late August. Aside from like the judge voting, this is like just people voting on their favorite miniature or whatever that people painted. Well, somebody painted. I think it was a pretty funny, but also kind of serious art piece depicting giant vicious bears painted as different Care Bears with particular symbols on their chests, fighting zombies with a particular colored hat. And yeah, so that was the one that was voted number 1 community painted miniature diorama, whatever. Well, apparently the people in charge of Nova, there's a commission or whatever, a group that you can look it up too. The 2025 community, like Nova, like community voted or whatever. Like you just kind of look up some of that stuff, you'll find it. Because I had never seen this before this morning when I was reading about this, and I looked it up and found it. So some of the people on the board of the convention did not find it funny, and in fact found it very offensive. And to the point where Nova either took a long time or refused to share it when they shared like the winners of the various competitions, or care about the fact that it looks cool. And it's best not to focus on rules too much. Yeah, exactly, Night Trap. Yeah, if there's something that looks cool, like yeah, go for it. Yeah. As far as like new armies and stuff, right? So I guess this has been a thing that's been told to painters and organizers. But they made a public statement yesterday, or last night rather, essentially saying that, hey, we want to be inclusive of everyone. And to be inclusive of everyone, we have a new rule. And the new rule is you're not allowed to submit a piece that could be interpreted as being offensive to a group of people. So essentially, particular leaning people in charge of the it's literally any piece, yeah. So I was quite proud of the comments on the Instagram post where I first saw it, of a lot of people that I know, and like creators that I know, and people that I know that are basically like, this is my last Nova. But essentially, the idea is, if you want to submit a World War II diorama, you can submit a miniature with a German soldier in full Nazi regalia and everything and all the symbols. That's fine. You cannot submit a diorama of an Allied soldier or a Russian soldier killing said German soldier, because that offends the board at Nova. That's taken as modern, like, politics or whatever, and that's a problem. So, or I guess if you just take it to the extreme, you just can't submit any of that. So, but then, yeah, like you guys have said, you can't submit any minis then, right? But I think it's funny that the miniature in question was voted by the community. I have read overwhelmingly by the community. I have not looked up vote numbers. I don't know if those vote numbers are public or whatever, but they were voted by the community as, you know, the community favorite. And so what the board and organizers of Nova are doing is alienating all of the people that voted for that as their favorite, which was the majority of people, or at least a plurality of people voted for that. And yeah, and then they're like, yeah, okay, no, this is what we need to do. Which real group was depicted? Care Bears are the zombies. Yeah. That's so bad. So we can submit blank bases and nothing else. Got it. Yeah. No, blank bases are offending, man. I'm offended. You would submit blank bases. What's up, Raja? We're talking about Nova Open completely shooting themselves in the foot. Now, I myself have never been to Nova. Now I don't know if I would plan to go to Nova. I would have liked to go to Nova before, right? But I don't know. It was kind of nice reading some of the comments on the article and how people are like, well, I guess I'm never teaching at Nova again. You know, from like a big like creator or something. So Ninja's so stealthy that you can't do ninjas, man. That's offensive. Yeah, they just lost. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, it's definitely not going to get the attendance. You know, I know Nova has a big, like, tournament presence, too. Like, Nova is not just the paint competition, but I'm really curious how this affects their tournament presence, you know. Jeez, yeah. Black Templar fans still go. A Romulan bird of prey in cloaked mode, yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because they even say like things that can be interpreted as whatever, like you know there's going to be some troll there that's just like, that offends me, that offends me, that offends me. And like, yeah, like the kid Black Templar fans catching strays again. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah. I have an in-law that he plays Black Templars, but he got into the hobby, and he's like, man, I really like Imperial Fists, and we're like, please don't start Imperial. Like, you're gonna be so miserable painting. He's like, okay, what about Space Wolves? And I was like, I'd never forgive you. And then he just went and bought a bunch of Black Templar stuff. I think he was tired of asking me like what was cool and what wasn't. And now we make fun of him, and he's like, man, he's like, if I would have known, I wouldn't have done it. If I would have known the meme. But he sees it. He sees it. Can it rule for allowing models offensive to Space Wolf fans? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Best way to combat that is to intentionally make offensive dioramas. Yeah, I think the best way to combat, as great as I feel like it would be, Night Trap, to, you know, submit entries that are intentionally over the top, like against their rules, just to make them have to keep addressing it. I think the best course of action is just to not support them, because you're paying money for all of that and they're making money on all that. You know, like, what are they going to notice more? The fact that a bunch of people paid them money and then submitted things that were against the rules? Or people just not showing up to their convention? The main reason I went to Nova was to take classes, see from stream community, and paint with folks. All three of the reasons are now gone, so yeah. Yeah, that stings blue. I know you had a great time at Nova too. Like, it was a whole thing. And yeah, best way to send a message is for them to lose, half their revenue. Or all of it, you know, whatever. Whips, Quishy, got stuff in Whips? Alright, let's take a look. What did Quishy submit? Always painting British. Nice. It would make me feel weird as a soldier wearing shorts. But I get it. It's hot, you know, so I understand. Yeah, it definitely would be funny, Night Trap. Yeah, if you could submit entries for free before paying for your ticket and stuff, then by all means, yeah, flood them with the most offensive things, the most blatant against the rules. Yeah, guys, Quishy's got British bolt action soldier. Work in progress. Let's start our own convention with only offensive models and dioramas. Yeah. I bet if we invite AK Interactive, they'll probably be busy at Nova, to be honest. AK and their weird dioramas. Would oiled up Emperor count as offensive? Or does everyone like that? Yeah. That was a blast. Building a piece for 2026's case. It saddens me, yeah. For another place. Come to Origins. Crucial Blue. It's in Columbus, Ohio. When is it? Hold on. It's in June. It's in June. You don't have to fly. Start our own with blackjack and hookers, yeah. Columbus is a cool town from what you've heard. Yeah, you hate it. Don't talk like that, Zen. Okay. So we got these first couple colors on these. Next we need to add extra stuff. So let's paint the weird body hair on these guys. We gotta give them a little bit of time to dry though. That does sound like LVO, yeah. Alright, Quishy. Hey, thanks for submitting the minis, dude. The British are looking great. You're gonna have a great looking army. Color? I think I did. Those posts was the issue. They tried to not let that piece win. The issue is the board of Nova. There are some people there that were very offended by that piece, and they made a post to basically say stuff like that isn't allowed. You're not allowed to submit art pieces that could be interpreted as offending somebody. Yeah, Gen Con is a good one too. You probably have to fly to that one too. What role do these ghouls play? So ghouls are an interesting role. They're skirmish night traps, so they don't fight like in the formation or whatever, in the box formation. They kind of spread out like a 40k formation. They're skirmish. They're pretty fast for infantry. They're actually really fast for infantry, and they have a lot of like poisoned attacks. So they're kind of like a glass cannon. They're super fragile. They die really easy. They're good for like hunting down like spellcasters, or getting into flanks of units. They definitely don't fight well on their own. They could also be, I guess, a very relatively slow, because they're slower than Cav, but a slow force to maybe get into the opponent's backline. So, yeah, that's what the ghouls are used for. We are going to use, where are you? That's dark neutral. We need dark warm gray. I'm offended by this ghoul, yeah. Oh man. Tomb Kings have skeleton skirmishers? They might, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if their archers can go in skirmish formation for Tomb Kings. Oh, the horse archers can't. That's right. Yeah, a lot of horse archers can skirmish. Yeah, that's a pretty common thing, I think, in the old world. I saw this go down at like 2 a.m. since I couldn't sleep. Oh, nice. Yeah. I was just reading it this morning. Got some gnarly chest hair. There are others. Yeah, just not within driving distance. That's fair. Yeah. I get it. You could drive, you just don't mind the long drive, you know? Drive out to Ohio, dude. Ohio's really easy to drive through because it's all flat. So you get really good gas mileage. That's my argument for Ohio. Is you get good gas, and gas is cheap. Yeah, he's not going through southern Ohio though. Any thoughts on Red Corsairs and Eldar Corsairs? Yeah, so I like the Red Corsairs and the Eldar Corsairs. I think they all look great. I really don't like the faces on the Red Corsairs. In particular, some of the command squad faces and the captain, like the Reeve captain or whatever, his face, I think are really bad. But otherwise, I think they're great looking minis. The Eldar look good. The new Viper looks pretty good. So I like Eldar minis in general. It's all okay. Sorry, Mr. Southern Ohio here with your hill that you have. Dates don't scare me. Okay, okay. You got November 1916 in your series. Nice. Yeah, it just that World War One just ramps up the whole time until it gets like right to the end. It's crazy. Let's paint his little rock here. He's got a nice rock he's holding. Housing opens in February? Housing for what? Gen Con? I don't know. What are you talking about? Oh, dang. Okay. Gas. Recently, one of the gas hubs in Colorado gave diesel to their trucks instead of unleaded, and it got distributed in pumps all over the state. Oh, wow. That's crazy, Tabern. That's crazy. Yep. Small mistake leads to a big problem. Yeah, Luigi Cadorna. Yeah, he's the national hero, and he's just like the worst. Yeah, that's like all the World War One commanders do. They're all just terrible, except the Canadian. You got something that breaks it down more. Okay. Have to take a look in a minute. A Schwann's truck through the many hills and valleys of southeast Ohio. It's not flat and often terrifying. Okay. Well, I mean, you're getting close to Appalachia there, so, like, yeah, that's going to have more hills. Yeah, Origins is in Ohio. Yeah. Origins is not as big as Gen Con. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll watch that later. I got it open. I'll watch it later. Yeah, it's in Columbus. Yeah. You're acquiring, yeah, all the allied detachments. Yeah, that's great. That's great, Butterscorch. Hey, man, do what you gotta do. Try breaking on one of the brick roads on a hill in winter. Oh, no. That's crazy. Yeah, everything around me is flat, and I like it that way, so... Make her drive that. Dang, dude, I do that 8-hour drive like 3 times a year. I'm sure some people do that a lot more. Yeah. The whole city's just... Your whole city's just hills? Dang. I'm not the biggest fan, but, you know, I turn the ADHD on and just turn on music and just go. You're 2 hours southeast, it's all flat. Yeah. The only bit of Florida I've been to is like practically below sea level, Florida. And there are no hills. Phoenix City had a competition who had the biggest hill. Music doesn't do it for you when you're driving? Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, if I'm driving with family, it's only music. If I'm driving on my own, like, you know, a couple good podcasts you get through and, like, you're basically there. 2 hours for me to drive home to Kansas City area, yeah. Where are the Canadians in chat where they're like, I drive 12 hours to see my doctor? Like every month or whatever, and they're just, yeah. Yeah, podcasts or audiobooks. The tower to make their hill higher, but it got removed due to safety concerns. They were cheating. That's pretty funny. That's like one Gaunt's Ghost book. Oh yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, you just have a whole book you listen to, and you're there. What's the road trip snack of choice? That's the real question. Yeah, taxis drive 8 to 12 hours to get to the next town. Yeah. So my road trip snacks are very specific. I am good for an 8-hour drive at least. If I need Cheez-Its, and I need a sweet candy that's like not chocolate. Normally that's like Sour Patch Kids if I had my choice, but yeah, I could settle for other things, but Sour Patch Kids and Cheez-Its are my road trip snack. And then I need tea. I can't do like soda while I drive, so it's some kind of tea. And you don't drink too much because you don't want to like have to stop every hour and pee, right? So a sour candy and chili cheese Fritos, nice. Pringles, yeah, okay. Pringles and Twizzlers, man. You're a Twizzlers person, Raisha. Red Vines are where it's at. Honey buns, I don't eat them normally, but a road trip, calories and sugar keep you going. Yeah. Dang, that's solid, dude. A box of just like snack cakes of some kind, that'd be cool. Twizzlers are terrible. No. They're like rubbery and gross. In Germany for 12 hours? Oh, driving through Germany, yeah. Some flavor of Coffee Monster. Slim Jims without the cheese, yeah. And Grandma's brand cookies, nice. Palm dates for long trips, okay. The texture of red vines are perfect. Yeah, red vines are not rubbery. No. Twizzlers are rubbery and gross. Red vines are legit. Especially the rope red vines. Yeah, those are the best. Perfect to throw at tailgating motorists. I feel like people commenting about that, about red vines, have never eaten a red vine. The only decent Twizzlers are the pull and peel, but even those taste weird. Yeah, no, red vines are way better. They're so much better. Yeah, don't listen to them, Dunter. They have no idea what they're talking about. Pull and peel are straight chemicals. Yeah, and they taste like it too. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's the best Twizzlers has. And they're awful. Sour Patch Kids are better than both, yeah. I've never had Aussie licorice. I don't mind licorice flavored things. It's not my favorite, but you know, I prefer the red stuff. So it's just the type of candy. Oh, okay, interesting. That diorama of the community award says something really good about our community. I feel like it wouldn't have won years ago. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Yeah, like I think it's great. Like it's a well painted piece, you know. But I think anyone who's ever been in a community like painting competition where it's like community votes on it understands it's not always about just like the pure skill of what you paint. Like you have to have a theme that people like, and people liked that theme, and they went with it, you know. Yeah, I've heard Dutch people do love licorice. The Wallaby is a well-known brand of Aussie-style licorice with several flavors. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's reaction 2 years ago, and I'm proud I've made a 180. Yeah, well, good. Good for you, Quishy. That's all good. It's all good, man. We're proud of you too. Oh, all right. I have to go back and get all their claws with this color. Okay, let's get a small brush. To restock the vending machines at work, finally realized people drink Dr. Pepper's Zero than Diet Coke and adjusted accordingly. Dang, alright. Well, good for them. Ran out of some crucial paints. Too bad. How you go through paint so fast? What colors are their teeth? Who made their teeth just teeth colored? Okay. Probably bought those paints over 7 years ago. Oh, okay, okay. I can't batch paint for the love of me. Yeah. Yeah, Ender. My advice for batch painting, if you don't like it, is my whole process is you start by batch painting the first color. And you make it as far as you can bearably go. So if you get through the whole color on that first color, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. But, you know, we'll assume you got through the first color, you get to the second color, you're working on the second color, and you're like, this is horrible, I can't do it anymore. Then you stop. You stop wherever you made it. Let's say you made through half the models on that color. And then you can't bear it anymore. So what you do is you get out the next color, and you start painting the models who you already batch painted with the color before it. And you go until you can't stand it. You batch paint like that. So like those half models, you had 20, you have 10 now. You batch paint those 10, you get to the next color, you do the 10, you get to the next color, you do the 10. When you get unbearably sick of it, you stop where you are and you get the next color out. Maybe you only have 5 that are on your current color. And then you batch paint those 5. And you go through and you continue doing that process. And then what happens is, as you're painting and you finish those first, so, you know, you're down to like 2 or 3 minis, but you finish those 2 or 3 minis, you go to the next ones, they're mostly done. And then you finish those and you go to the next ones, and they're mostly done. And you just keep doing that until you're done. And like that to me is like the way to batch paint. You know, even if you end up doing your finishing touches on one model, because when you go to the next step, like you finish those first models, you go to the next ones, you're halfway done with them, and it's like it's more motivation to continue painting them. At least to me it is. Seeing something mostly done or halfway done or something when I have to start on it, I'm like, man, I don't have to go through that process again. And yeah, makes it a lot easier to continue on. Bring Oreos, you can bring the Diet Coke. What am I bringing? Can I bring the red vines? I'll bring the red vines. More bolt action minis, nice. Yeah, hopefully that helps. And you know, you don't have to do it. I know just some people, everybody's different when it comes to how they, you know, how they do this hobby. So if you just can't batch paint, then you know, that's it. Flashing on this mini is so bad, and we're just gonna ignore it. Here for a good time, not a long time. So bad. Nobody's gonna look at this mini again. It's fine. Bring red vines, I bring Twizzlers like a civilized human being. Okay, yeah. You bring the Twizzlers and we can all try them and then just throw the Twizzlers in the garbage. I think the thing about red vines that people probably don't like is that they go bad quicker. So if you have like a fresh bag of red vines, they're like amazing. But after they've been like opened and they've been like exposed to air for, you know, a couple days or whatever, they get like they harden up. So it kind of takes the quality down, and maybe more people have them when they're open and like left out on the counter or whatever, and they think that that's like a normal red vine. Where Twizzlers stay, they're much more like stable. But you know, it's probably due to all the additional chemicals in them. Most American I've seen you be holding strongly to. Wrong opinion? Yeah. It's fine. You guys, you'll find out. You'll realize one day you're wrong. It's alright. Is that Lay's has changed their bags? They're smaller and thicker bags. Really? It changed the weight on their bag. I'm like, look, we're selling this much stuff. I'll stick to my potatoes and copious amounts of animal fat. That's fair. I'm pretty sure there's gelatin in candy licorice, so that's animal pieces, right? The semi-cheat code for batch painting is to find a wash or shade that can go over the entire model. Yeah. Washing entire minis is the way. There's non-animal gelatin as well. Yeah, there is, isn't there? Which is cheaper? It's also very American. Yeah. Just stick to the cholesterol and animal fats, and apparently whole milk that everybody claims was not allowed to be sold, but has been in stores for eternity. Bringing Dots pretzels. Okay. Oh, nice. All right. John, I'm gonna have to hire a security detail if you want to do a meetup at Origins and Zen's gonna be there, because I feel like you're gonna see him, you're just gonna attack him. Yeah, John Lockridge on YouTube said Dots pretzels. You guys wanna here's a nostalgia trip. Absolute best candy ever was Jujubes. You guys remember Jujubes? The most annoying to eat, but so good. Yeah, Dots are good though. Yeah, Dots are good. Yeah, I used to love Jujubes. See, it left the servers. Yeah, Squishy, that's probably for the best. Probably for the best. Milk overall, I prefer oat milk. But when I do get milk, it's whole milk. Yeah, we don't have regular milk in our house because people are allergic to it. So, you know, like. Also, yeah, almond milk is oat milk is my preferred milk. if I had to choose any of them, to be honest. Because it's healthy and it's like easily sustainable, and it does the best when you bake with it, in my opinion. It's like good like baking texture and everything. So you don't want to physically harm Zen. Just ban him for life from the channel for his degenerate behavior. Oh, okay, jeez. Yeah, whole milk is just, it's 3%. I think it's 3%. Is it 3 or 4%? I don't know. Okay. Next color. Some of these guys have like little like straps and stuff on them. It's in between. Oh, okay. It averages 3.25 to 3.5. Dang, okay, yeah, it really is like right between, isn't it? So, out of all the teach-ins I've met, Zen's on the extreme tame section. Yeah, he is. Fair life. Better for my son's digestion. I heard that's good milk. I don't know if it's just advertising from the company, though, that I see all the time, but... yeah, he did have some pretty degenerate streams. They were so funny. He's just sitting there while we all just judge him. Yeah. To be fair, how this would happen is Zen would stream and be like, "Hey, I have this funny idea," and he's like, "I'm gonna play this character and I'm gonna do something silly," and then his regular viewers would just call in with the most degenerate, like heinous things, and then he would like be forced to roll with it, and so he would just kind of, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, Zen's such a degenerate," and he's like, "I just want to make funny tax jokes and stuff like that," and then people are just... He played along with it really well, though. But I don't think this is the right brown. Finish this like wooden stake, and then we'll adjust. Yeah, let's change that. I need the other brown. This one, hardened leather. It's sleepy. Yeah, go take a nap or go to sleep or whatever. Steve Harper. Yeah, rip Steve Harper. He would allow it. Yeah, he would allow it. Yeah. Yeah, it always devolved into like the same jokes from people that would call in. You got nothing, pal. Next guy. It's the color I want. You're also plumber, yeah. You're plumber and tax accountant. their adult dungeon to plumbing in a way that... Yeah, yeah. I don't think they were that clever. This guy, he's got nothing. Definitely weren't, yeah. He's got nothing. No, nothing would ever match up with taxes or plumbing. Yeah. It's fine. No, it's just... Zen always had... Zen was a great streamer. He had great ideas, and, like, he was so good in front of an audience and everything, but it was just, like... The people that followed his streams were just some of the worst people. And like couldn't like get the jokes, or like weren't able to like follow along with the stuff, so weren't able to appreciate it. All right. Nothing. What do you got? You got anything? No? Just make sure. That's what you get when you're a late night streamer. That's true. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I also followed his stream. That guy's a little different color. No big deal. Alright, 2 more main colors I need here. First is just this broadsword silver, which I think is on maybe 2 minis. There's a couple of them that have metal bits hanging off of them. This guy's one of them. A couple. Dude with like everything. you. Not you. Not you. Okay. Hot speed bean water. Yeah. Okay. We got that. Now it's time for Pallid Bone. It's going to go over, you guessed it, all of the bones. Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to wake up then. Yeah, that's fair. He's got another one. Look at that. Almost missed entire bone sticking in his skin. Nighthawk, she get a monster type thing? It's a Wicker Man? That could be cool, yeah. Who knows? I have no idea like what they could or would do with Age of Sigmar. That whole setting makes no sense to me. I know there's some more, he's talking to ghosts again, yeah. It's people on YouTube, okay. I think these are the same mold as Fantasy, just haven't been updated. They just became their own faction. Yeah, that's what they did with Sigmar, though. They took one unit from a faction and just expanded it into its own faction. They just did that a dozen times. So Sigmar doesn't make sense to me either, but those Nighthawk models are gorgeous. Yeah, he said Sigmar. Sigmar bless this ravaged body. Nice. I forget that exists a lot of the time. Hey, Tuvan, what's going on? Sigmar Slayers are in desperate need of more models. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Now, why didn't Quishy trigger Nightbot? That's what I want to know. What was I thinking? Just having breakfast. Dang, it's a late breakfast. All right, cool though. Cool. Thinking about like 11th edition 40k. So we're going to be getting into 11th edition news in the next like month or two. I think Adepticon will be their official announcement that 11th edition is coming, which is in March, right? So that's something to think about. I was thinking like I'm probably going to be willing to try 11th edition. I'm sure there's going to be things they talk about when they're talking about how they updated the game. There's going to be things they talk about. I'm going to be like, wow, that's a really cool improvement they made and everything. And I'm sure that'll happen. But oh man, I haven't played 10th edition in like a year and a half, and I honestly like do not care to play 10th anymore. And even some of the stuff that like I really enjoy, like the Guard, like Deathcore of Krieg getting their own faction is awesome, or getting their own like model line and stuff in plastic is so cool. And I just feel like it's kind of wasted on 10th edition. Like that's just the kind of the thought that goes into my head of like, why couldn't this be like 7th or something? You know, 10th is better than 9th. Yeah, I don't know. I also didn't like 9th too much, but you know, 9th was way overcomplicated and had too many issues with it, and like it had its own thing. But at least 9th had like character to play the game, right? Like, I don't know. 9th was at least interesting, although it was annoying to play. So yeah, I feel like playing 10th edition doesn't feel like playing Warhammer to me. Definitely didn't like 9th, the one learner game and half real game I played. Yeah. I was like jumping back into 40k with 9th edition and like really trying to give it a shot. And it was just, it was so annoying. Like, yeah, so many different things. But I don't know. I still almost would say at this point, you know, grass is greener, right? Nostalgia and stuff, that I would prefer 9th over 10th. But or just give me 7th edition with no formations, and I think we're probably good. Although 7th edition was a bloated, like, too many rules kind of edition too, but hey, Jaded Valkyrie, how are you doing? The Iron Warriors teasers. No, I don't think they're Proto-Rabo. I think there's a Defiler and like Demon Engine thing. I think there's new like Mutilators and Obliterators. And I think there's upgrade kits for Iron Warriors. That's what I think those teasers are. Oh, and and like a Warsmith character. That's what I think those teasers are. Recovered from work just in time to go back to work. Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? Jeez. You don't know if they do a Primarch. They do a Primarch before every edition change. That's literally what they do every time. They did 2 Primarchs before the edition changed in 9th. Yeah, yeah, that was what's his name? Oh, excuse me. Angron and the Lion came out about the same time. It was right before it moved over to. It was like a couple months before 10th edition came out. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I know. It seems stupid, right? To put out a Primarch with a bunch of rules and stuff, and then just drop it for a new edition. But that's what they do every time. Um, you would think it'd be a loyalist this time with him having Fulgrim. Yeah, I feel like there should be a loyalist, but yeah, I thought I was pretty convinced Lehman Russ would be coming back, and maybe he is. They did say the next campaign book after the Maelstrom is going to be the Eye of Terror, and that's where the Iron Warriors stuff is coming. But I wonder if that would be a time to put out Lehman Russ, though, coming out of the Eye of Terror, right? Like that would be a clever thing, or just a loyalist Primarch. Yeah, Lehman Russ is lame, but it said there is one way they could make him that would be really cool to me. You make him practically a demon, and every loyalist is just horrified of him, and the Space Wolves are like conflicted and split over it, and like it becomes like a whole thing. That would be an interesting story. You feel it would ruin Blood Angels Sanguinades came back? Yeah, I do. I do feel like it would. They have the Sanguinor. That's enough. Yeah, it would take away like all of their interesting rules, right? Like the Black Rage is like a whole thing because he died. So yeah, Korax would be another good one. Vulcan would be fine. Yeah. Power Creep probably just keeping it balanced. Yeah. Chaos Legion rules at the very end of 7th was really cool, but it was too late. I had your stream up and thought someone was behind me. I'm sorry, Killer Streak. I'm sorry. Well, thanks for chiming in, though. Yeah, making Space Souls into like a more rogue faction would be really cool. Yeah, Korx would be really cool. I think a lot of the Loyalist Primarchs that could come back would be really interesting. It's just how they do it, right? I mean, Rogodorn would probably be kind of lame, but we all already knew that. He would just be... The problem with Rogodorn coming back is unless they did something dramatic, he would be just another plain Primarch. Like Gilliman and Lion. And like we don't need more of that right now, right? I mean, eventually it'll be a thing, but it'd be nice to have a cool big, like, mutated, like, something different with a Primarch. Korax, Russ, Khan are all kind of just out there, right? Yeah, they are. Yep. Yeah, the three of them are out there. And then Rogodorn used to be confirmed dead back in old lore, but they retconned it where he's not confirmed dead. They just have his hand. So maybe he just lost his hand or whatever. But that's kind of it. Alright, little naked dudes. White Scars vs. Drukhari box set. Like 500 worlds. That'd be cool. Yeah. When we come back. Yeah, missing an arm, maybe an eye, just pure revenge. Yeah. That'd be great. Where Dorn like gravitates toward the Black Templars and has like that mentality. That would be a cool way to do him. Yeah. But then we'd have to deal with more Black Templars players. And I don't know if that's gonna be cool or not. Any box with Drukari is gonna be a great box, though. Leading them instead of the Imperial Fist, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, Dorn with like Black Templar armor. Yeah. Yeah, Rogo Dorn being the Black Templar's Codex. He wouldn't even be in the in the classic Space Marine Codex. That'd be funny. I'm sorry, Killer Streak, but there is a meme to uphold. Schism between loyal Primarchs would be awesome. Yeah, yep. I think Leman Russ is the best one to do that with. But I don't know. I also feel like Space Wolves are too popular. And Space Wolves players would just freak out if they did not get to be the goodest boys who always won. So... a bad rep. I aim not to be that guy. Good for you. Alright. Alright, good for you, Killer Streak. Okay. Let's get the other 9 here. Dorn be okay since he was leader of the Anti-Codex faction after the heresy. Yeah, Dorn the Eternal Crusader takes up the mantle of leadership of the Black Templars from Sigismund, his greatest son. He was inadequate to the task as Sigismund. Legend judges his disappearance. That'd be funny, a Primarch feeling inadequate next to one of his sons. New Lord Magnus uses Rust in a ritual to strip him of his physical form, return his legion to theirs. I'd be cool with that. You know, anytime in 40k there's a ritual, like, it ends up getting stopped. Like, that's just... And Space Wolves are so good that some random sergeant just tricks Magnus into, like, ruining his own ritual, so, like... There's no way Leman Russ is gonna lose in GW's eyes. Feels bad because he left for Warp Milk. I think most of the Primarchs did. Yeah, the Space Wolves with their definitely not warp magic. Yeah. They just pray to their ancestors in ancient religions that the Emperor totally didn't ban from everybody else but Space Wolves. Yep. Sure he did. Sure Dorn got kidnapped. He's gonna come back and tell him. And the ones who believe that story are the Black Templars, and the ones that don't are the Imperial Fists. And he's like, alright, Black Templars, you're my sons now. And just, like, runs off with him. Love being accept Space Wolf hate. Yeah. Yeah. I hope there's drama when they come back. I mean, that would only make sense, right? Run the Primarchs. I just got Be'lakor. That demands to be dripping and bling. Yeah, yep. does. He's the first demon prince. He's got to have all of that. It's demon. Yeah, demon that's loyal to the emperor. I think that's what's going to be Leman Russ. I think that's going to be Russ. He's going to be like just full on demon, but he's still going to be loyal. Maybe. And it's just going to be a big up in the air thing. Streetwalker Bellacore? Okay. He might start doing Napoleonic, so that's cool. Streetwalker. No, not Streetwalker. Yeah, Streetwear. Okay. I was thinking, like, wait, who's Streetwalker? Like, what do you... I've never heard that phrase before, but I assume it was... They do it taking money for things, but, you know, you never know. Alright, Streetwear. Yep. Bring news to the Emperor. Being a new god in the warp. That'd be crazy. Yeah. Not with that attitude. Yeah. To get Prussians, we want Flames of War Americans first. Dang, you doing Flames of War too? Jeez, dude. I thought I was into a lot of games. You're just going nuts. We used to have a huge Flames of War community in my area, and like all the local stores sold it, and it was like one of their bigger games. And then that game died off with a particular edition that came out a while ago, but I think they've had a new edition since then. I don't even know. I haven't heard anything about newer edition. Our LARP kid should get the last models in their 1,000 Tons Comet Patrol box build. Very nice. Very nice. Just have hands on a lot of systems. Yeah, it seems like it. There was cool lore about Cathay in the old world that I hope they can do. Like, this is my dream for like Russ for 40k, is something similar. Oh no, I came off his base. Oh well. Gotta get this paint out here. Darn you, little ghoul. Why gotta be so difficult? I'm trying to be gentle here. So there's this lore about freedom, yeah. So there's lore about it's one of the dragon lords or whatever they are, where like the people that rule Cathay are dragons, but they can shapeshift into humans or into whatever form they want, and they choose humans because they rule over humans, and they're, you know, pretty benevolent and all that stuff. And there's one of the daughters of the emperor is like the favorite daughter. Thanks. Yeah, she is the like the warrior and the one that fights with dad and everything. We'll set you to the side there. And she decides she wants to basically destroy chaos. And the emperor's like, no, don't do it, it's too risky and all that stuff. But just sort of, they chose Space Wolves. Jeez. Well, she decides to invade the Chaos Waste anyway, and so it's like, the further north you go toward these big like portals, the more corrupting it gets and everything. Well, she's fighting her way through, and she's slaughtering chaos and making her way north, and doing this for months or whatever. Well, she fights this giant battle, and is just cleaving through chaos forces, slaughtering them, and like thinking it's gonna be the final battle, like this is the back broken of the chaos forces and everything. Well, in like a moment of clarity, she looks up and realizes she wasn't killing chaos, like soldiers and demons. She was killing her own soldiers, and like the influence had changed her thoughts and like her perception on everything, to where she ended up killing like her own army. Well, immediately she freaked out and she fled back south into Cathay. And when she got near the border, there's a place called the Great Bastion. It's like the Great Wall of China, but in Warhammer. Got near the Great Bastion, and her sister saw that there was a massive chaos invasion coming, even though it was just her sister returning. Well, her sister had turned into what was essentially a demonic being, and didn't realize it. And the army that was with her wasn't her own army that was left. It was actually like chaos demons and stuff that was following her back into Cathay. So they end up like, her sister meets her at the wall and like fights her and stuff, and this giant battle, and good sister ends up killing the chaos corrupted sister, and all of this stuff. It's the Grand Cathay lore, so it's in the arcane journals for the old world. Yeah, so it's Warhammer Fantasy lore, like new Warhammer Fantasy lore. But there's that whole dynamic of like thinking you're doing the right thing, and chaos is corrupting you the whole way, until you get a glimpse of realizing what you do and you try to fix it, but it's way too late. And like you can't even see half of what's going on. Yeah, it's a super tragic story. It's probably one of my favorite pieces of lore to have come out of like Games Workshop in quite a while, just because it's like, I guess, avoidable tragedy, but once she made the decision to go in the Chaos Waste, like it was inevitable, right? Yeah. And I hope they do something like that with Russ. Like, he thinks he's doing good, but all that time in the warp has corrupted him, and he's actually evil and like monstrous, but he doesn't see it, but everybody else can. Like, that was always my thought for like, that's how they'd make Russ cool. Yeah, you have an actual Chaos Warrior. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's between Thousand Suns and Dark Eldar. Okay. I think Dark Eldar are really cool. I like Dark Eldar as a faction. Two more of these guys getting this watch. It's much more understandable that someone turns to chaos when they think they're doing the right thing. Yes. Yeah. Warhammer Fantasy had some great elements of that. Of like doctors who wanted to help people who end up like becoming the most staunch like Nurgle followers because of being corrupted and thinking they're helping people as like a doctor. That's Festus, I think is his name. Festus is a dude. He has a new Age of Sigmar mini that came out, but he is a guy that's like in Warhammer Fantasy is a doctor. Treating people with the plague so often that it like corrupted him to thinking that he could like fix it. Yeah. If I were told to do Old World, I'd do Cathay. Yeah, the aesthetic for Cathay is really good. And I think this coming Sunday will be the Wave 2 of Cathay. getting their preview announcement, their pre-order announcement or whatever. Let me help you not feel this disease anymore. Yeah, the Leech Lord. Yep. There's also a really good Warhammer Fantasy book about similar like chaos, corruption, and stuff. It's a classic like Dan Abnett novel called Riders of the Dead. It's my favorite Warhammer book of all time. But it's it's Warhammer Fantasy, so it's it's in the setting. It's kind of an older book. It's from like 2005 maybe, but yeah, it's really good. It deals with like chaos, corruption, and yeah, trying to do the right thing and like staying who you are while like chaos is just corrupting you and everything. So really good book. And it's one of the main characters follows along some Kislevites who are winged lancers. So one of the coolest units in Warhammer, and they're like featured. Doesn't kill you, make sure. Hey, Nerd Gun Painting, how are you doing? Long time no see. What's going on, man? Stretch here. Work out some painting stuff. Cool, what have you been painting? A bloat drone coming soon. It'll be the last one I need for my 2K triples event. Oh, that's really cool. That's on the 31st. Nice. Which Heresy or Primarch do you think will be put in plastic first? Probably Horus, if I had to guess, but my heart tells me Demon Magnus, but, that's just what I want. That's not necessarily what's going to happen. I would like to think it'd be the Demon ones, but there was a rumor of Gilliman getting a new plastic mini, and I could see that being an early Heresy one. Even though Ultramarines aren't super popular. They're not like crazy popular in Heresy. So, can you bet way of Warhammer minis? But always Warhammer minis also. Yeah, I get that. I get it. What else? We're kind of waiting for wash to dry at this point. Like Death Guard, the COC detachment. I know many people play Virulent Vectorum because of sticky but strats and flexible contagion, my favorite part. Okay, nice. Couple. Oh, cool. Yeah, it'd be cool, Nerd Gun. Yeah. The Armon is in plastic for Heresy, that's true. When Games Workshop did those great board games. So the first Heresy minis I bought was that game. Pack variant of the Domitar, as well as the Domitar needs plastics. Yeah, there's quite a few Mechanica minis that definitely need switched over, or that just never had minis to begin with. So there's one called like the Artalax or something, Artralax, one of those. It's like a melee Castellax basically. A dual release of Horus and Dorn for Heresy, since they like their matchup boxes so much. Yeah, Imperial Fist, Sons of Horsemen, two poster boys. That's true, yeah. They never, like, fight in Heresy, though. I would think if they're doing, like, two Primarchs at a time, I imagine there will be a theme of, like, dueling. Now, if they just have, like, a themed box of, like, hey, here's Legion-specific plastics for two Legions, I could totally see those two being first, just because they are the poster boys. If it's focusing on the Primarchs, you would think of, like, famous duels, right? And I would think Horus and Sanguinius is probably the most famous duel Horus fought, right? You'd have Magnus and Russ, Dorn and Alfarius. Would that might be it. Yeah, Ferris and Fulgrim, Korax and Lorgar, maybe. Angron and Guilliman. That was a big duel. Who am I missing? The Lion, or no, not the Lion. Yeah, Lion and Kurz, and then you have Khan and Mortarion. That'd be a good one. That covers most of them. Yeah, who would Vulcan fight? Did Vulcan ever fight Perturabo? Because I feel like that would be Vulcan and Perturabo. That would fit the match of the poster boys, right? Like, because it's been a lot of Salamanders and Iron Warriors. Yeah, Alfarius and Rogaldorn. Yeah, they fought. Rogaldorn killed Alfarius, allegedly, on, like, Pluto or something. Yeah, Alfarius and Dorn. Kurz and Vulcan would be another good one, but I think Kurz and the Lion would be more appropriate. Because they actually dueled. I think Kurz just, like, just murdered Vulcan a bunch. Yeah, Perturabo and Vulcan would be a duel. Who's that leave out? Does that leave out anybody? I think. I don't think anyone's left out there. No, not like, you gotta have Loyalist and Traitor. You gotta have Loyalist versus Traitor. So, and Russ and Magnus is a way bigger rivalry than Russ and the Lion, or Russ and Guilliman, or Russ and Horus, or Russ and, anybody, or Russ and other Space Wolves. Vulcan fought, yeah, I mean, Vulcan fought Magnus too. Vulcan and Perturabo. Yeah, I think that hits them all, right? I think it does. Korax and Lorgar would be a good one. Because Lorgar sucks. So Korax is so cool. Yeah, Russ is a Roy Rage Gym bro, yeah. Fulgrim and Perturabo is a big one. I didn't realize they fought. Oh yeah, because Fulgrim, like, sapped Perturabo, right? He like turned him into a cripple, basically, right? And Perturabo's just, like, totally cool with it after that. But definitely Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus, like, that, and I think Magnus and Russ are probably the two biggest duels in the setting. I guess, like, the Emperor and Horus, but Horus and Sanguinius would probably be the bigger one. Yeah, Perturabo versus Vulcan would be a good one. Just dudes throwing hammers at each other. Got some pictures and whips. Yeah, Nerd Gun. Crazy airbrush work. Yeah. Love the lighting on it. Nerd Gun. Just great stuff. Nice. Awesome work, dude. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Nerd Gun. You're doing great stuff. Wasn't Fulgrim the one to put Gilliman into stasis. Yeah, that was actually after the heresy, though. That was during the scouring. But yes, he was. It was also Demon Fulgrim. So I don't think Gilliman was expecting to find Demon Fulgrim. He was a little caught off guard there. Chris Manus is kind of a joke, which is kind of sad. Like, nobody plays Iron Hands. There's a guy in our group that plays Iron Hands. I've been summoned to talk of Russ. Of course you have, Killicam. Of course you have. We were just talking about if they were to make plastic Primarchs and they were to release them 2 at a time, what would be the best releases? It's like Russ is an easy one because he goes with Magnus, right? Like, very little airbrush these work, but there's always a little. Okay, nice. Well, fantastic work though. Great job, Nerdgun. Yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks for sharing. See a battle of Mortarion versus Fulgrim at some point? Yeah, are you talking about like in 40k or in like just as like a tabletop battle or what? Vulcan and Conrad? I think Conrad goes better with the Lion though. I think their duel was probably more like a more significant one, right? Okay, here's the set. You ready? Here's the release. You have the Lionel Johnson versus Conrad, and then there's a side miniature of Corswain. You know, with this sword like above, or like ready to stab Conrad in the back or whatever. Yeah, dude, Conrad does body the Lion. It's pretty funny. Oh, you're talking 40k. Oh, okay, yeah. No, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool matchup. Conrad bodying the Lion has always been funny to me, yeah. Red Magnus the Red Thousand Suns may have switched sides regarding Russ. Magnus is still an idiot and totally did something wrong, but him and Vulcan have become my favorites now, yeah. What do you mean they... Oh, you switched sides regarding Russ. Okay, yeah. I remember reading Thousand Suns for the first time and I was like, man, Space Wolves are awful. Like, what is wrong with them? And then I was like, okay, I'll read Prospero Burns. And I was like, man, the perspective of Space Wolves were awful. Like, what's wrong with them? It was me reading anything about Space Wolves. Yeah, Magnus is super arrogant, but he had a ton of empathy, right? Like, he wouldn't give up his legion. He didn't want to, like, you know, his sons or whatever, and like he always tried to find the good in all the other Primarchs, which is why like he like never brought himself to kill like other Primarchs when he was fighting them and everything. Also, GW has to nerf Magnus to like progress the story. More or less don't play anymore, but I'm loving the less furry looking Viking versions. Yeah, the new Space Wolves actually do look pretty good. Yeah, ever since when they decided to kind of get away from the Wolfhammer wielding his wolves, wearing wolves, riding wolves, saying wolf all the time, like, that was the point where it's like, okay, they can be alright from like an aesthetic point of view. Glue this guy back on the base here. Angron's bit the sing. Yeah, Angron does have like super tragic story. That's true. Fulgrim corrupted by the sword. Angron's butcher nails. Kur's insanity. Yeah. Yep. Is Angron the shortest Primarch? I thought Alfarius was. That's what I think. Don't forget to wolf your wolf. Exactly. Yeah. Space Wolves. Yeah, Mortarion was like holding a grudge because the Emperor killed his like adopted dad, and he didn't get to kill the adopted dad or whatever. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. They're just barking and it got mistranslated. Yes. Yeah, I love that. They're just all barking at each other. It just sounds like a bunch of chihuahuas like yapping. You did finally get around to playing Heresy. How'd you like it? I'm a big fan of playing like the Horus Heresy as a game. So best rule set in years. See, I think so also. I appreciate the mindset, Nerd Gun, giving it an honest try. That's awesome. It's good to hear. Just 7.5. So did you play the second edition Heresy or third edition Heresy? Because third edition Heresy is a bit more of a departure, but yeah, second edition is very much like a 7.5. Third edition changed some things, but I like the changes third edition had for the most part. There's a couple things I didn't like, but for the most part, okay. Second edition is very much just 7.5. Yeah. Alright, out of the equation. He is a regular size Marine. Yeah, Alfarius is short. Say loyal as if he saved his gladiator brothers? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I honestly think the Emperor could have removed the Butcher's Nails without killing him. And it would have been fine. But he didn't want to take the time, and he didn't, and he felt like it was going to make Angron weak. And he didn't need a weak leader, he needed a warrior. So, he wanted warlords. So, he wasn't going to take him out. Do you think they would do a Horus Heresy 2 Electric Boogaloo lore-wise? Like a 40k version of the Heresy? Like Gilliman turns against the Emperor, basically? Is that what you're saying, Killer Streak? You not sending down a bunch of Marines to save Angron's friends was like the dumbest and easiest problem that could have been solved. Yeah. Yeah, Big E's the worst. Yeah, the Emperor is the worst. Why doesn't Angron have bunny ears? That is the true question. Yeah, why doesn't Angron have bunny ears? Absolutely clear the rules were, and the streamlining actually streamlined without stripping layers off tactical depth. Yeah. Yeah, what's funny, Nerdgun, like, 2.0 had a ton of issues. Like, there were still, like, a lot of wonky rules. But yeah, I agree. If you're coming into it from, like, a 7th edition mindset, you read the Horus Heresy rules, you're like, man, these rules they're like, they just improved on everything, right? And that's just kind of how they treat it, which is great. 3rd edition Heresy is nice. It's no less wordy, it's not more streamlined, but if once you figure out like the wording of the rules and like how they lay out the rule book, it's very clear cut, and they're very specific with how they define rules, which is very nice. So Robert started to love Fulgrim, then Fulgrim used him and broke their friendship. Yeah. Yep. Well, like a curbside that Gilman's trying to stop people from worshipping Biggie because he knew Biggie never wanted to be worshipped. Yeah. Well, Gilman's like building up his legion basically again, right? That's like a whole thing with the 500 Worlds lore. Alright, Tuvan, enjoy your adulting. Thanks for chilling. Yeah, and you have a great day. Pinnacle of Humanity and the strongest psyker and whatnot. He's definitely not the brightest, no. I'm pretty convinced that, like, the intention is that Malkador was the one that was really running the show. And, Malkador was the one who was keeping everything going and had all the good plans and everything. And the Emperor was just a strong psyker and, like, a face of it. And, yeah, he was really smart and powerful and stuff, but essentially he was the warrior while Malkador was the one doing everything. The Lehman Russ Heresy, where he accidentally kills people then doubles down. Yeah. That'd be pretty fun. He accidentally steps on a guy and just leads to him like burning a planet to the ground because he can't just admit that it was an accident. Probably order a book. Things were findable without stripping it down to 9 pages of rules. Yeah. Ooh, man. Yeah, 10th is like that too, isn't it? Yeah. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I'm enjoying 3rd. I haven't played any miniature games yet this year. Closest I got was playing a board game on Saturday. We played Rome Total War, the board game. It was a ton of fun. But I gotta get in some board game play. I got a tournament to go to for Middle Earth that I still need to sign up for, but that I'm going to be going to. And then I'm going to be doing an event in February for Heresy. We're going to be doing a Zone Mortalis game day, so that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to do that. So I got some games. The also would likely never happen. Yeah, big shift for 11th. Eliminated Space Marine Codex altogether. Oh no, definitely not. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like Gilliman's trying to revise his codex. Yeah. 40k to come back around to my flavor. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Nerd Gun. Yeah. I am 100% behind the idea that the specialist design studios, all like their minor games, are the best games. Like, written with like players to have fun in mind. Where the main games are very much like competitive, like money making, you know, like let's get the tournament scene out there kind of mindset, where it's like this is a game where when you play the games made by the specialist studio, it's like this is like let's get into it. Like this is it's about like getting into the setting, and it's about like, you know, the drama of the battle and everything. It's not so much about like the just like the roll dice and run probabilities and win. Which Primarch is the worst and best father? I'm going to give the best father to Magnus, only because he not only straight up like made a deal with the devil to save his legion temporarily, he also refused to dump them to get redeemed to the Emperor and to take over what is now the Grey Knights. It's like he literally had the chance, and all he had to do was give up what was left of his legion. He wouldn't do it. Yeah, Vulcan's also best dad. Yeah. Conrad Kerr is probably the worst. I would say Perturabo's pretty bad on that front too. Because I don't think Conrad Kurz just killed a tenth of his legion when he met them. Where Perturabo just like, he just met him and he's just like, yeah, 1 in 10, you guys need to die. Or could Splinter where the Primarchs become local warlords? Yeah, that could happen. Yeah, it just depends on how GW advances the setting, right? Yeah, Conrad just kind of does want to murder everyone, doesn't he? Perturabo's trying to make him strong by killing a bunch of them. Yeah, it's called tough love. Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, Khan is pretty cool, isn't he? He's the forgotten one, though. Same with Korax. Korax is chill. Oh, the Lion is definitely one of the worst as far as loyalists go. Did the Terrans dirty? Oh, did he? Okay, I'm not familiar with that. We'll have a good stream. Yeah, Nerd Gun, you have a good one too. Yeah, we're just chilling at this point. I got washed. That's all trying to dry. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Thanks for sharing some work too. Jody Perturabo sees his sons as disposable resource to be used. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the worst it can get, right? Like, it doesn't even acknowledge their humanity, just like, yeah. Yeah, you are watching paint dry, yeah. I gotta use these. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know if there's anything worth using them on yet. I gotta figure out something. Still not dry. Let's get there. How much to buy a TPD OnlyFans subscription? $5. It's all yours. The entire catalog. Similar to the Undead to Scar Mason. I don't know who that is. Okay. Yeah, have a good one, man. Only half a mod of Dark Angels in 40k, including the Lion or all Alpha Legion. That'd be pretty funny if they were. Perturabo played chess with one of his sons that one time. That's that's what matters. Yeah. Soul Surge, what's going on? Are you learning a lot just listening? I mean, a lot of what we're talking about is just kind of memes, but I'm glad. I'm glad you're learning something. I love that. Perturabo is a contender for the best dad because he played chess with one of his sons that one time. He threw catch, played catch. And this crusade without support basically kills many enemies before death. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Work on some models for playing 5 Leagues from the Borderlands with your husband. I've never heard 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. I'm not familiar with that. That's really cool, though. Or zombies? So we're both painting a dead. Nice. Yeah. This is about among the last of the undead minis I have to paint for my army, and then it's either I buy more or I'm that's it. Are you gonna make an OnlyFans account with just different pictures of fans detailing their price, abilities, stats, and all the fan stuff? You get banned for that, actually. You get your account shut down if you do that, Night Trap. Yep, they do not like that on that website. Yep, yeah, Zendral knows. Yeah. Because you are not the first to try that, Night Trap. Need to paint more Tomb Kings. Yeah, Tomb Kings are cool. I think they might be getting some revamped minis this summer. I heard there's a new starter set coming for the old world, and it's going to be Tomb Kings and Wood Elves, which has me really excited because I really like fantasy Wood Elves. So that might be something I look into. Yeah, Zen made an OnlyFans for his Roomba, and they deleted it. It's like inverse YouTube. You get banned for that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's more you get banned if you're not like posting as a person or something was the logic to it. I don't know. You have STLs for Tomb Kings? Nice. It's like an RPG miniature skirmish game, a procedurally generated adventure miniature game with tactical skirmish combat for solo and co-op play. That sounds legit, Soul Surge. That sounds really cool. Yeah. Like a co-op adventure game with like procedurally generated like areas and stuff. That sounds really cool. Oh yeah, very nice. Oh man, I feel like we're going to be waiting a little while longer for this wash to dry. I paid OnlyFans account. There's just a horse for a while. A hearse? I'm trying to say hearse or horse? Like a funeral car? Starts posting pictures of Iron Warriors. Yeah, they're humans partially. Yeah. It is. You generate your own map of the region from the start, so no two adventures are the same. That's really cool. That is really cool. You can get into card games more. Oh, nice, nice. OPR proxy for Lizardmen, and they look so good. Yeah. OPR has some cool minis. Okay, so Funeral Car had an OnlyFans account. Wow. All right. Oh man. Universus is fun. It's good IP. Oh, cool. I need to play a game. Zen, you will play a game on Friday? Come on. It's the VIP treatment eventually. Yeah, like Warhammer, yeah. We can do a small heresy game if you wanna learn those rules, or
It's clean. It's cold.
Cool.
Now that's what I call
You drink and stretch. Absolutely, I'll drink and stretch. Hey, no one in this stream is to be judged for their spelling or inability to spell, alright? Because I have such a hard time, like, communicating clear English on any kind of stream chat that I normally just don't bother. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to stretch real quick. I think we might kind of call the stream just a little early. Well, that's a good stretch, though. Alright, feels good. Feels good. I think we'll be on tomorrow. And, yeah. Paint drawing. I think we'll finish these guys up. And then I will make it a point to get some other things ready for Thursday. So we'll have the next things ready. But yeah, that's the plan. So you'll be streaming through Thursday, trying to finish up some stuff, and we're just working through some backlog things. That's all we're doing. But see, I might start clearing out the Thousand Suns backlog. We'll see, maybe some weapons or something. That'd be cool. All right, yeah. Should you start paint streaming? That is up to you. It can be exhausting at times. I would say if you do it, make sure you're doing it because you want to have fun with it, not because you feel like you're going to make it big and make millions of dollars. So that's, if you're having fun with it, do it. If you're not having fun with it, then, kind of be done with it is essentially what I would say. But yeah, up to you. If you do, please let me know on Discord. Put your, when you go live, put yourself in the channel, the Going Live channel and everything, post it up, and I'll come by and follow, might lurk around a bit and say hi. But yeah, we'll try to support you. We'll get you your affiliate real quick at least, or do something like that. But yeah, you guys have a great afternoon. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll be painting more. I'll try to finish these ghouls, and yeah, should be a good time. But yeah, hey, if you want to go for it, Quishy. Yeah. That's what I say. If it sounds like fun to you, try it. If you're not having fun with it, then stop. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Bye, everybody.